How is it going, guys, and welcome back to another Fallout 4 video. And today we're going to be taking a look at everything we know so far about the upcoming console mods. Bethesda have actually released quite a bit of information since they first announced this quite a while back, from release dates which was actually given out yesterday, which we're going to be covering in this video as well. They actually streamed yesterday as well, so we got a bunch of information from the stream that I'm going to be covering in the video. And again, just everything we know so far into one sort of hub video for you guys, so if there's any bit of information out there about console mods, you can hopefully find it throughout this video. As always, if you guys do find this video helpful today or do want it to enjoy, be sure to leave a like down below. Your support, of course, is always greatly appreciated on the channel. And before that being said, let's jump straight into this. So starting things off, let's talk about the release date. I did actually mention this in a video yesterday, but I figured why not mention this first and then mention some of the other details afterwards. And the official release date for Xbox One mods is May the 31st. So literally like 2 or 3 days away now from when this video does go up. Now for the PS4, however, it's a little bit different. Bethesda have still stated that it's going to be released sometime next month in June. They just don't know when yet. They haven't given an official release date for PS4 yet, but they have stated sometime in June is when the release date is set for, which of course is pretty damn unfortunate. I do prefer things to sort of be balanced across the board, where Xbox One and PlayStation 4 would get it at the same time, but for whatever reason, Xbox One is going to be receiving them first. Now with the release date out the way, let's talk a little bit about mods themselves. And when initially downloading mods, it will split your saves into two. One is going to be the modded save, and one is going to be the vanilla save. Now the reason it actually splits them in two is because there's several different reasons. The first one being achievements are going to be disabled. That's right, when you have mods enabled and you're on your modded save, you won't be able to get achievements, and that's just sort of Xbox and PlayStation's policy around the whole modding scene on consoles. Whereas of course if you revert back to the vanilla save, you can then go ahead and get achievements again. Now in addition to this, another reason why they sort of have to split is because with certain mods, it can have a huge impact on your game, especially, you know, afterwards. If you want to go ahead and delete that mod from your game after playing through quite a bit with it, it can have a huge impact on your way, the way the save performs, with certain things during the story mode. And in general, to kind of counteract that, they have split the saves in half. So again, if something goes wrong with your modded save, you can always go ahead and load back to that vanilla save and sort of start afresh with that. And that's sort of the direction they're going with, in terms of the saves for it. Now let's talk a little bit about the storage. That is right, there is going to be a cap on the amount of mods that you can download, and that cap for the time being is 2 gigabytes. So you can only download up to 2 gigabytes of mods, and that only applies to mods, that's nothing else. It's just 2 gigabytes for mods for the time being. They have actually stated that this is subject to change, and they will more than likely actually up this, eventually down the line. But just to make things not too hectic right now, 2 gigabytes is the amount you can download, which is quite a lot, but at the same time, it does kind of, mean that you are going to have to pick and choose wisely which mods that you do want to download. And again, you can quite easily delete some mods that you've downloaded just to free up some of that space, maybe some mods that you don't want to use, and you can go ahead and download other mods. And talking about mods in general, some of them can actually conflict with each other and corrupt or crash your game save, which again is another reason why they've split the saves in half as well. So choosing mods wisely, again, it's something that you are going to have to do very, very carefully, because certain mods won't work with other mods. So that is something you are going to have to look into a little bit more deeply. Make sure you're checking the descriptions of each mods and stuff like that, and just to make sure you are downloading ones that will work together with each other. But for the most part, most mods do work with each other. It's just very rare occasions some of them do actually conflict. Now another question that does actually get asked quite a lot is, will all PC mods be making its way over to the console versions? And that, my friends, is not the case. Number one is there is no nude mods allowed on the Xbox One or the PlayStation 4. Bethesda have actually stated this on their website, that is definitely a no-go. And in addition to this, it's entirely down to the mod creator to whether or not they want to port their mod onto the Xbox One or the PlayStation 4. But one thing I will say is a bunch of mods that are already on the PC have already made it to the Xbox One, and you can view a lot of these on mods.bethesda.net. Again, link it down in the description down below. There's like 600 or 700 plus mods already available on Xbox One, So a lot of the mods that you probably love on the PC are probably already there. It's just certain ones, again, it's entirely down to the mod creator to whether or not they want to go ahead and enable it for the consoles. And that goes the same way as well. If you want to make a mod and just make it for the Xbox One, you can do so. If you want to make a mod and just make it for the PlayStation 4, you can do so as well. The choice is entirely down to the creator. And when it comes to creating mods, you can only make them on the PC version. You know, you can't make them on the Xbox One or the PlayStation 4 or anything like that. You do have to use a program known as the creation kit, and then once you've actually made the mod, it's then when you can choose which platform or console that you want to put that mod onto. And hopefully that has answered quite a few questions that you may have had about console mods. And just before I do end the video, I do want to mention some things about the menus, even though it's already been covered before in videos, but the menus are pretty much what's going to be seen on the PC, but on the consoles again. So basically when the update arrives, you're going to have like our brand new mod section available. You can go ahead and click on that mod section, and then you'll have to sign in using your Bethesda.net account. So if you don't have an account on Bethesda.net just yet, make sure you do so before mods comes out, because otherwise you won't be able to go ahead and actually download them. Once you've signed in, you'll then be put onto this screen where you can navigate a bunch of different mods. There'll be a bunch of different sections and stuff. There'll be like your own library section as well, showing you which mods that you have. One quick tip is that you can actually navigate the sections much quicker using the bumpers or triggers. So that way you can actually sort of go page by page, or it's sort of in that manner where it skips a bunch to the next page and stuff like that. Another tip as well is you can use the X button on the Xbox One, and that will bring up a search bar where you can actually search for a specific mod that you want. And this just makes it a little bit easier for you console users. I mean, another way you can do this as well and add mods to your game is through mods.bethesda.net. You can simply filter it out to Xbox One, find a mod that you want, and then hit add to library, and that will eventually get added to your library on the Xbox One, and it'll pop up in the my library section. Now additionally to this, you also have access to the load order on the consoles as well, and this is especially important because certain mods need to be loaded before other ones, especially when two mods work together. You know, one of those mods may need to be loaded first, and that's why using the load order, you can go ahead and choose which one will load first, second, third, and fourth, and so on and so forth in that manner for the load order. And when it comes to downloading mods on consoles, you can see when you actually click on the mod, you have a couple of different options. One is to favorite it, and this is something I suggest you guys do. Whenever you see a mod that you like, make sure you favorite it. Because of course that lets other people know and the mod creator that, you know, this is a very good mod that a lot of people may want to download, or it's a very good mod that anyone else out there may want to download. Of course, you can simply hit the download button as well. This will download it directly to your console. Then you have the enable or disable option once it's downloaded. And of course, you have to enable the mod to actually make it work on your console. And you know, if you want to, if you don't want it to work, but you still want it to keep it downloaded, you simply hit disable mod. Whereas if you want to completely remove the mod off your hard drive, you'll have to delete it. And Bethesda have actually made this a whole lot easier by adding in a delete all mods and disable all mods feature. And this makes it a lot easier in terms of organization. Let's say you have a bunch of mods that you've downloaded and enabled, but you only want, let's say, 2 of those mods actually enabled. Well, you can simply disable them all and only enable the ones that you actually want. So again, it just makes it easier for navigation and organization across the board there. And that, my friends, is pretty much everything we know so far about console mods. I thought I'd talk a little bit about the menus, even though I covered them in a previous video. And this was just sort of like a hub video that I wanted to make just as one place that you can go to gather as much information as you can about the upcoming console mods, because they are coming very soon, and I will be streaming them live on YouTube. It's going to be, as soon as it drops on May the 31st, I'm going to be going live, interacting with a bunch of you guys in the chat. So if you want to tune into that, just stay subscribed to the channel and it will pop up in your sub box the second it does go live. But anyway, hope you did find this video helpful today. If you did, be sure to let me know by leaving a like down below. You guys have been smashing likes recently, so if we can keep up with that on this video, that would be awesome as well. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch you guys next time with a brand new video. Peace out.